I hate Bitcoin. Wait, hear me out. You know when you're in line at Starbucks, you're standing there 6 feet apart waiting for your drink, and the guy in front of you feels chatty, so he turns around and says, "So what do you do?" And you, being polite, say, "Hello, Mr. Strawman. I do complicated job," with no good answer to that question. And he goes, "Complicated job? I heard of that. Does that have to do with reductive thing I heard about on the news that you don't actually want to talk about because your job is so many cooler things?" And you go, "Well, there's more to it than that." And he goes, "Wow, please explain your job in detail based on this one reductive thing I heard one time so I can never use this information again." Well, that's me. As part of my work, I research blockchain applications, including cryptocurrency. And if there's one word that can shut down any conversation for me, it's Bitcoin. And before I get into it, I should probably recap what any of this is, just so that we're on the same page. In case you don't know, little b Bitcoins are a cryptocurrency that have been making waves in the news since 2008. They were created by the elusive Satoshi Nakamoto, and the lizard people who control our government have been scared of it ever since, because it could be the one currency they can't control. This fear is all because, unlike other currencies, Bitcoin is an open-sourced, decentralized, digital currency. So what do any of those words mean? Well, open source means the code is freely available for you to download, run, and check that there's little to no funny business. Decentralized means the network that allows you to gamble your life savings away on literal code isn't controlled by one entity, unlike a bank. And currency means, for some reason, we decided to give it a monetary value, a role that extends to the Bitcoin network, which very few people realize is what made it a reputable currency. Capital B Bitcoin isn't just a coin, it is the global infrastructure that enables people to buy, sell, and trade digital currency 24/7. And assuming you already knew any of that, you might be thinking, "That's all pretty cool, Cameron. Why would you hate it?" And to that I say, okay, technically I don't. What I hate is how the word Bitcoin, and by extension cryptocurrency, has utterly hijacked any interest in the transformative power of blockchains. Capital B Bitcoin is just one narrow example of a blockchain. What I imagine most people don't know is that blockchains, the backbone of most cryptocurrencies, are a type of distributed ledger technology, or DLT. The D means that the technology runs on a spread out or distributed network. The L means, well, it's a ledger. Like literally a list of transactions that represents purchases, trades, whatever. Trade in a game at GameStop, that's a transaction. A bad transaction, but still counts. And the T just means that computers were involved. I know that's not technically what it means, but do you really want me to stay here and define technology for you? Now, a public blockchain, like Bitcoin's, is supported by code that can be run by anyone with an internet connection and a decent computer from this decade. This means everyone from you to your grandma can be a cool hacker man validating GameStop trade-ins on the network. But the code is also designed to prevent actual GameStop employees from getting away with offering you a $3 trade-in for your unplayable copy of Cyberpunk 2077. That's because transactions can only get on the ledger if enough people agree it's valid. A process that ensures GameStop's trade-in program would probably never work on a DLT. But because it would take ages for folks to reject trade-ins one by one, we instead bundle transactions into blocks to save time. If enough folks agree a block is valid, then it is added to the ledger along with the reference to the previous block. Thus, the block has become a metaphoric link in the chain of transactions. Get it? A chain of blocks? Blockchain? Listen, programmers aren't always the most creative. Microsoft literally called their language C# because they didn't want to call it C++++. Okay, let me try explaining blockchain another way. Let me appeal directly to you. Are you not entitled to your own data? No, says the doctor, it belongs to the hospital. No, says the government, it belongs to the state. No, says the man in Moscow, it belongs to the people. I reject those answers. I choose the impossible. I choose blockchain. My point is, blockchain is a novel and powerful technology with the potential to disrupt so many established institutions beyond the banking sector. And what truly frustrates me is how so many of us looked right past the technology that made it possible and either saw dollar signs or a threat to our way of life. Like, if I could be real for a second, the money side of this isn't really that interesting. Bitcoins, as I imagine most people know, are not physical currency. Most people think of it like weird stocks or online banking. But because we gave it monetary value, this invited a world of, let's be honest, scammers to come and create altcoins and tokens for hypothetical networks that will never work just so they could get in on the action. And they know it'll never work. There is a whole podcast called The Missing Crypto Queen about a multi-level marketing cult that tricked thousands of people into buying a fake cryptocurrency that was never supposed to have value. I mean, at least when you sign up to sell Cutco knives, you get to keep all the expensive knives you bought. But it goes beyond that. Even when we aren't sold on a fictional dream of riches, even when we are told this is worthless or this is a joke, we still mess it up. Dogecoin, a cryptocurrency created in 2013 by forking the Bitcoin code, was created as a joke. Jackson Palmer, the Australian developer who created Dogecoin, has gone on record saying he put a meme on the coin to signify that it was a joke, and we still gave it monetary value. As of the day I am writing this, Dogecoin has a market cap of $1.3 billion. And here's the thing, I love Dogecoin. I mined it, pay for random acts of pizza with it. I'll bet money someone on our Wall Street Bets has lost money trading it. It was amazing because it created a community of people who knew it was a joke. But it still got ruined because people focused on getting rich. And that's just one side of this. On the other side, there were other people. Older people. Like the lizard folk who run our economy. They saw this currency and feared it because they knew they could never control the One Ring. Seriously, governments saw the mayhem of the crypto markets and decided that cryptocurrencies were too dangerous. A reaction that effectively stalled blockchain research. And this is really the crux of what I'm getting at here. I hate Bitcoin because of how synonymous it has become with blockchain. I think cryptocurrencies are really cool. I still think Dogecoin is great, but they're one tiny facet of what blockchain or any DLT can be. And because blockchain became stigmatized by varying reactions to Bitcoin, people have been afraid to embrace it. Having a transparent and distributed way to create and track records is great. It means that citizens can know when their government or someone else is messing around. Fortunately, since the poor reaction from world governments, India, Rwanda, Sweden, and the UK decided to start testing blockchain for creating digital land registries. The US Air Force came around and is starting to use blockchain to track supply chains for their additive manufacturing process. In fact, the entire country of Estonia, a country you think about so little that you didn't even realize this isn't Estonia, this is Estonia, has been embracing the technology since 2008, going as far as to digitize whole sectors of government services in hopes of creating an open, more accessible government. Even the NIH are hoping to use it to track and fight certain unnameable diseases. And this isn't even getting into fun blockchain stuff like CryptoKitties. My point is that blockchain and DLTs are powerful tools. And because of Bitcoin's stigma, people keep putting them in smaller and smaller boxes. That's why I made this video, to explain that Bitcoin is cool, but it is hardly the beginning of what blockchains can do. And by immediately associating one with the other, we are closing ourselves off to a world of possibilities. I'll make sure to put a few fun links in the description for anyone who's curious for more. And if you have your own ideas on what blockchain can be, or just want to share your favorite joke cryptocurrency, please let me know down in the comments. Anyway, I hope you learned something fun. That's all I have for this video. Please like, subscribe, maybe ring that bell icon, support me on Patreon. Oh yeah, I started a Patreon, and I'll see you next time.